What's the cheapest classroom insurance policy you can have as a teacher? Here's a hint. It's not Geico, State Farm, or Progressive, and there's no deductible. Miss White's students really loved her. That I know to be a fact. She was a really, really good teacher. She cared about her kids a lot. Her kids were very responsive. She spent a lot of time the first 2 weeks of school building community, building connections, showing empathy, learning her students, getting to know them. They got to know her. And they were great and responsible and responsive and respectful when she was in front of them. They were all eyes on Miss White. Miss White was phenomenal most days. But on this Friday, Christian's mom was upset because Christian didn't have any homework. And Christian's mom was convinced that Miss White didn't give out homework. Miss White knew she gave out homework every day, so she went in the hallway to the impromptu parents conference with Christian's mom. So it's Christian's mom and her rollers in the hallway with Miss White, and Miss White's class is unsupervised. And now they're sitting quietly waiting, but they're so used to her being in front of them, giving directions, telling them what to do, being right there. They didn't know what to do, and they're kids, so they start quietly talking, and they were younger kids and talking a little bit. It wasn't too bad until boom, someone fell out of a chair. The whole class erupts in laughter. Miss White runs back in the room. Class off task for the rest of the morning. So here's why you should always have a do now, warm up, or drill in the beginning of every class. It gives your students something to do. If you get called to an impromptu parent conference with a parent in slippers and rollers, it may happen. Kids are doing something in the classroom, they're working. You could kind of monitor them from out in the hallway. If you're looking in the door and talking to the parent, you can keep an eye on both. But if they have nothing to do, they're gonna get a little rowdy. They're gonna get a little rambunctious. Also, if there's no parent conference, you could also have them working when they enter the room. So you could be walking around checking homework, getting pencil sharpened, addressing any concerns that your class may have. Simple. Have a drill. Have something for them to do every single class period. It doesn't have to be a complex activity. It could be something as simple as, how was your weekend? How's your day going? How do you feel today for younger kids? It could be some math problems, a fact worksheet, foundational facts, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. It could be something based on a lesson you're teaching today as an introduction or as a formative assessment, so you can kind of get a feel for where they are with this subject. Or it could be a review of the homework or a review from a previous subject. It could be something very simple. I like writing prompts. I think you could write even in math. You can write. Writing prompts are good. It gets kids used to writing, expressing their feelings, expressing their thoughts. You get to gauge them, temp check them, and also it gives you time to just work the room and get a feel for your class and how they're feeling early in the day, early in the period, and you get to know what you're about to deal with for the next 60 to 90 minutes in your classroom, depending on how long your class periods are. So I always suggest having a drill, a do now. It should not be any longer than 10 minutes. Probably aim for 5, but that's unrealistic depending on your grade level. But I'm talking about them working on it and you checking it and you going over it. You can give kids a chance to work together in groups. If it's a reading type thing, it's a chance to get some student engagement. It could be something simple as a writing prompt where when they're done, let's just say 5 minutes into it, you can have them partner up. Have partners read each other's writing prompts and then volunteer to read the best one for the classroom. If it's math problems, of course, you can have kids come up and do it on the board. You want to increase engagement. You want to increase participation. You want kids to be actively engaged in your room, and you don't want to be lecturing 24/7. You want to get out the front of the classroom. Let kids lead your classroom. So that's a good way to get them started. Something simple, a drill, a writing prompt, some math problems. It's easy. It makes sure that the kids are working, regardless if you have to step into the hallway, deal with a situation in the hallway, deal with anything, homework. It's very simple. So have a drill. So they say the mark of a good leader is how your team performs when you're not around. Substitute teacher, that's a whole different subject, but I'm talking about you stepping outside for a minute. How do your kids perform? Do they know what to do when you're not there? Did you practice the procedure? Did you model the procedure? Did you go over it repeatedly, over and over and over, till it's ingrained in your student's head? That they need to do this when you're not there. They need to do this when you are there. They know the routine. If you get called to the office for whatever reason or to a parent conference and some substitute pops up, they know the kids are supposed to be working. Student accountability, peer accountability. They're gonna be like, we are doing the drill. We know what to do. Think about it. Build that in your classroom, establish your norms, set the pace. You'll be in good shape. And you'll also be able to take a quick little bathroom break if you need to. So regardless, set the pace, set the norms, set your procedures. Make sure your students know what to do when you're not standing in front of them. Students can get off task pretty quickly. So comment if this has happened to you or you've seen it happen in your school.